There's a way to make an entrance.
This is my destiny.
It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
Tonight on Lost and Found. She's never met her dad. All she knows is he was a sailor.
I was just too shy to even do anything about it.
Finding him could change her life,
I just want to be whole, I want that so bad.
but only if he wants to meet her.
It's either going to be yes or no.
A top show jumper wants to find the mother who left her behind.
I mean, she got pregnant straight away, and Ed and me went back to England.
But has she left her search too late?
I have so many questions.
Plans that don't work out.
I've tried not to put my hopes on anything.
And two missing daughters.
They disappeared, taken away, and that was it.
So they probably think you're the bad guy.
There is a strong chance of that there.
Will they forgive their father?
If I saw them, I'd fall to pieces, I tell you now.
Families that are lost and found.
Wow.
They're always unpredictable.
Oh, man. I've never met my father. I don't even know if he knows I exist. I'm Chinese Fijian and my mum's Māori. I don't look like anyone in my family. I really want to know where I come from. It would be like a new door opening to my life. Can you please help me find my father and where I come from?
There's perhaps nothing worse than feeling like the odd one out.
What's that letter? What's that word?
29-year-old solo mum, Piki works in the justice system. She believes her dad was a sailor who worked on ships travelling between Nauru and New Zealand. Piki has two children, Liana and Waimana. They no longer live with the children's father. Piki has always felt the absence of her own dad. Bulla, so you believe your dad was on the phosphate boats?
Yes, that's what Mum's told me.
And what do you know about him?
Not very much.
Yeah?
Only that he is of a Chinese Fijian descent, and I just spotted his name on my birth certificate when I was younger.
That discovery compelled Piki to look further, and she delved into shipping records. She was able to identify the name of her father's ship, the Aigigu. But Piki was unable to find William Ma himself, and as a sailor, she knew he could be anywhere in the world.
Because I was always a shy person, I was just too shy to even do anything about it,
You're Maori on your mother's side,
Yeah.
but there's another part of your cultural background that you know nothing about.
Oh, yeah, I've always wanted to know the other side of me, I just want to be whole, I just want that so bad.
Piki has been wanting that since growing up with a stepdad, two brothers and two sisters.
Yeah, I used to get teased a lot at school. I just felt like I didn't quite belong. I just looked completely different from everyone, even within my own family, my siblings, I look nothing like them.
If you get to meet your dad, what will you say to him?
I don't even know how I'd react, if I ever met him. If he ever agreed to meet me, I don't know.
Piki's mum is keen for her to find her dad. If that happens, Piki will need to be ready to find out the truth and to possibly embrace a new family.
It is all unknown, but I'd love to know all these things. It'll be a whole new beginning. It'll be a whole new learning for me,
How hard is it to do this?
Exciting yet terrifying.
The White Pages in Fiji are a good start in the search for William. But Ma is a common name in Fiji. There is a William Ma, and it could well be him. So you say there's another William Marr, and he now lives in New Zealand, but he spells his name with 2 R's? Searching in New Zealand doesn't bring any obvious results. But on Facebook, I have luck, and then a phone number. Hello, is that William Marr?
Yes.
Hello, William. Look, my name is David Lomas, and are you originally from Fiji, and did you used to work on the phosphate boats which came to New Zealand from Nauru?
Yes, that was a long time ago.
Well, I'm ringing you on behalf of a young woman who believes that you might be her father, that you had a relationship with her mother when you were on a phosphate boat called the Aigigu when it came to Auckland.
I can't recall that.
Well, she's done a video message. I was wondering if you'd be happy to meet me and have a look at that video. William Marr now lives in Auckland and agrees to meet me. Hello, William?
Yes, Steve.
I'm David.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Well, as I said on the phone, a woman has come to us, and I believe she's your daughter. Her name's Piki, and do you know anything of her?
No, I have no idea at all.
No idea.
I've never knew anything about it.
Have you been able to raise it with your family?
Yes, I have. I've spoken to them about it briefly.
And your wife, is she okay?
Well, I hope so.
Or would you like to see
Yeah.
this young lady? Shall we grab a seat? So, this is the young woman who might be your daughter.
Hi, William. I'm Piki. I'm terrified to be doing this, but I've done this because I am really curious to know who you are, where you come from, where I come from. I don't look nothing like my family, and I would like to know if I look like you. And it would be really awesome if you'd meet me.
She looks like one of my daughters, actually. I didn't know she existed. I did not know.
You're reasonably convinced she'll be your daughter?
Yeah, I'd be happy to meet her.
That's great. She'd love that.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you.
William Marr is an engineer at Fonterra, but spent his early life on the phosphate boats travelling between Nauru and New Zealand. He was born in a village in Fiji 56 years ago to a Fijian mother and a Chinese father. William doesn't know when his Chinese forebears arrived in Fiji, only that his father was born there. He is married and has a family. When you were young, you said you always looked a bit different to everyone else.
Yeah, it was difficult, but I just got on with it.
Your search for your dad, you've left it a while. Why the wait?
I've been worried about the rejection. Yeah, it's a possibility. It's either going to be yes or no.
Well, I've met the man you believe is your dad.
Yeah.
I've shown him your plea. And do you know what he said? He said, you look just like one of his daughters.
Oh, okay. Cool.
He lives here in Auckland.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God.
So you, Liana and Waimana, happy to meet him?
Yeah. Oh, man.
when he heard that you were worried about rejection. And he asked me to give you this before you meet him. 29-year-old Piki has wondered all her life who her real dad is. Now there's something he wants her to know.
Okay. To Piki, hello and bula vanaka to you and your children. When I saw your video message, I was emotional to see you and disappointed that I had not known you existed. I say this sincerely. I do not want you to feel that way. There is no rejection. It is late, but I am here now, and I would like to build a relationship with you and your children, if you would like to. Your dad, William Ma.
So in a few minutes, your mum's going to meet her dad for the first time. Would you guys like to watch?
Yeah.
So it's been a bit of a shock to you the last little while coming up. How have you coped with it all?
Pretty well, I suppose, you know, as best as I can. Yeah.
You were determined to meet her.
I'm eager to meet her. Hopefully I can make up, you know.
She's going to be coming down here in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Any idea what you're going to say to her?
I don't know, just let me meet her first and then we'll, you know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
I just can't wait to actually meet him. I just feel like I'm going to fall apart. Yeah, and just the anticipation, the excitement, the longing, you know, it's my whole life.
If you were to look over your left shoulder just down at the end of the wharf there, can you see that man standing there?
Yep.
That's your dad. Would you like to go down and meet him?
Yep.
Great. Good luck.
As I was walking down, everything was just going through my head. You know, I've wanted this for so long, and it's here now. That was the longest walk of my life. The first time I seen him, I could tell he's my dad.
When I saw her walking up, there was so much emotion. I just wanted to get closer. Piki.
Just having him there to be able to hold me, just to feel him, you know, his embrace and stuff, it was amazing.
How are you doing? It was very, very emotional for me. Yes. Yeah, I didn't want to let her go.
Oh my God.
Sorry, man. I didn't even know. I'm very sorry.
Doesn't matter now.
Yeah. I'm glad I saw you.
I look like him. Daddy, I do look like you. It's really emotional, you know? It always has been, ever since I was growing up, and that's sort of the thing that I was trying to just bury away, you know?
There's a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, I don't even...
Yeah, I don't know where to start. We'll do it slowly, okay?
Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh.
Finally.
These are the grandchildren.
Yeah. Come.
This is Waimana and this is Liana.
It looks like just like you, eh? Oh, boy.
We just got loads to catch up on now. Yeah, just so happy.
I knew she was gonna cry.
Yeah?
This is it. This is what I've been waiting for for 29 years. This is what I've been wanting.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Since then, Piki and William have spent a lot of happy time together.
Things with Dad have been really, really good, actually. Yeah, very happy. And we've put a few plans in place for the future. We will go back to Fiji. I'll meet some family and I'll learn more about the culture, and yeah, I'm super excited.
Hi, my name's Fiona Tapp, and my problem is not that I'm adopted, but that I've spent over half my lifetime trying to find my birth mother, Gladys, and I've been unable to find her. Could you please help me find my birth mother?
Fiona Tapp is a 49-year-old mum who works with special education children. She has a 20-year-old daughter and is a champion horsewoman who has competed internationally. But behind her success, there's always been a mystery. After years of searching, why can't she find her English-born birth mother, Gladys?
I understand that she came to New Zealand on a ship in I think she arrived here in late 1964. And it came as a bit of a shock to me when I found the shipping information that I had a half-brother, Lawrence. And he was 3 years of age when Gladys came to New Zealand. She had me in Wellington, and her parents did not know anything of her pregnancy of me.
Fiona was born in a home for unmarried mothers, and Gladys named her Christine. Adoptive parents were already waiting to take her in as their new baby. They renamed her Fiona. Soon after, Gladys, along with 5-year-old Lawrence, vanished, leaving Fiona behind in Wellington.
As long as I can remember, I've known that I was adopted. And I felt misplaced at times in life. I'd look at an atom and it's made up of all these little baubles that make up the atom, and there's all these branches to it and everything. But I haven't got those branches. And it feels like you're just this speck of dust floating through the universe. And you don't know. You just don't know who you are. And I have so many questions. And I don't feel whole.
And if all that wasn't enough, life has dealt Fiona some unusually harsh blows.
When I've been married, that landed up in a divorce. And then I met my daughter's father, and my daughter was 3 months old when he died, suddenly of a heart attack. A few years later, I met my long-term partner, who sadly passed away in 2012. So yes, I've had a lot of death around me, which is not a nice thing to see and witness on a consistent basis.
So finding out who you are and where you come from takes on a much greater meaning.
I just got these big holes and I just want it stitched up. There may be just a little bit of, finalisation of something in my life. Without it being death.
However, there is a very strong chance that Fiona's birth mother, Gladys, may also have passed away. Fiona has gathered documents detailing Gladys's time in New Zealand up until she was born and named Christine. But then the trail goes cold. To find out where Gladys went after that, I've recruited the help of Gail Wilson-Waring, a genealogy expert who knows her way around old shipping records. Hope you got some good news for me.
Hi, David. Yes, been very successful. I've managed to get a transcript of a shipping record which shows Gladys leaving New Zealand on the 1st of September in 1965.
Okay.
On the SS Northern Star, going back home to the UK. And we discover that she's from Oldham in Lancashire.
And what about Lawrence? Did she take him or leave him here too?
There's a Master L. Howarth, aged 5 years, travelling with her. So we've got them both leaving the country in 1965, shortly after the adoption.
Okay.
So they've gone home, and most likely to go home to the parents in Oldham.
With that part of the mystery solved, I begin my search in Oldham in England and find an L. Howarth. There's an address listed. The problem is, he's ex-directory. There is no phone number available. I need to find a way to get him to call me. Hi, can I send some flowers to England? The mother of 49-year-old Fiona Tapp abandoned her after she was born. And it's proving difficult to find Gladys Howarth. So I'm trying to reach Fiona's brother, Lawrence Howarth, in England. My flowers obviously arouse curiosity. Lawrence Howarth emails me, and over the next week, he and I exchange a number of messages. He's convinced I'm mistaken about his mother and wants to see my research. I'm sure it will be quite a shock when he reads it. Eventually, he replies again. Both Lawrence and Gladys will meet Fiona. I need to update Fiona. She's waiting at the Wellington home of her parents. Mary and Ellen Tapp still live in the same house that Fiona was raised in, along with her brother, who was also adopted. Well, I have some news for you. I found your birth mum.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you very much.
She's never told anyone about you, not even her husband.
Wow. Gosh.
But she's happy to meet you.
Oh, wow.
I've also found your brother, Lawrence,
Gosh.
and he would love to meet you. Would you be happy to go to England to meet your mother and your brother?
I'd love to come and meet them. It's such an amazing feeling. These two people want to meet me. And that's a wonderful, wonderful feeling.
And Mary, how does it feel for another mum to walk into Fiona's life?
I'm glad for Fiona. I think it'll settle you down. And...
Well, I haven't been a wild child.
There have been many hurdles getting through to Fiona's distant family. But finally, I'm off to London. Then north to Manchester. But on the way, I receive the worst possible news. An email from Lawrence tells me that Gladys has changed her mind. Now she won't meet Fiona. It's a disaster. Meanwhile, Fiona is in the air, on her way to England, expecting to meet her mum. Oldham is a Lancashire milling town. Gladys and Lawrence have lived here since their return to the UK. Lawrence is still willing to meet me. He wants to explain what happened after they received my emails. Hello, you the man I sent flowers to?
David?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Your mum didn't make it?
No, unfortunately, it's been quite a traumatic time for it. It's bringing up a lot of old memories.
When you first broached the subject of Fiona with your mum, how did she react?
She denied it. It was because she blocked it from the back of her mind. You know, that memory's gone, right? My mother's kept it a secret, since we left New Zealand. Now, last night she phoned me, she says, I want to tell my husband now. So she says, can you come round and you know, just support me while I tell him? He took it better than what I thought. Could you imagine bottling all that up for, what, 49 years?
Fiona has come a long way to see her. Do you think you could get your mum to change her mind?
I doubt it very much. I mean, this is a hell of a shock for me as well. I've been told I've got a sister.
Would you like to see what your sister looks like, her message?
Please. Yeah.
It's a message for your mum. If you push that button, that's her.
Hi, my name's Fiona Tapp, and I was born in Wellington, New Zealand. My given name at the time of my birth was Christine. I'm 49 years old now, and I now live in Auckland, New Zealand. I have lots of questions that I'd like to have answers to, and particularly, where did I get my silly warped sense of humour from? Where did I get my height from? I'm 5'9". I really love to meet you. Maybe we can have a cup of tea and have a talk and get to know each other. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's nice, that. She looks like my mum. I'm not kidding. That is bloody ironic, isn't it? Oh, God.
So as you can see, Fiona's really, really keen to meet her mum, your mum.
Yeah.
Do you think you could take that message and show it to your mum and try and get her to change her mind?
I will try my best, but she can't say no to a girl like that, can she?
Well, I hope not.
You can't, can you?
And this is really big for you. I mean, that's your sister.
It's powerful stuff, that, you know. I'm looking forward to meeting her, actually, but I'm just gobsmacked. And they talk about warped sense of humour, well, my mum certainly got one of them.
While we await the imminent arrival of Fiona, Lawrence wants me to understand why the New Zealand phase of his mother's life was so painful. After an earlier marriage, a move to America, and Lawrence's birth, Gladys divorced. The move to New Zealand was supposed to be the beginning of a new life. Instead, she had an unplanned pregnancy and then a terrible maternity home experience. Ironically, the things Gladys always wanted to forget are the very things Fiona and now Lawrence want to find out. I met your brother Lawrence yesterday, and unfortunately there was a bit of a hiccup. He says your mum is vacillating a bit. She said 3 weeks ago she wanted to meet you, but now she's decided she's not sure. Top show jumper Fiona Tapp has travelled to England to meet her birth mother, Gladys Howarth. But there's a problem. Gladys has changed her mind and won't meet with Fiona. She said 3 weeks ago she wanted to meet you, but now she's decided she's not sure. Lawrence has gone trying to convince her. She may turn up at the last minute, she may not.
I knew that could be a possibility in the back of my mind. I mean, I've tried not to put my hopes on anything, and I just got to go with the flow.
Your brother Lawrence, he's absolutely 100% keen to meet you. He's very, very excited.
His family, and I need some closure somehow as to who I am, and there's still a blood connection there, so that's exciting.
I really just don't know how I'm going to react or anything, you know, even when I see her.
And your mum, what's the story?
Well, I don't know. Right, even up to this minute, she said she was coming with us to the park. I tried everything I could to persuade her.
Well, in a few minutes, Fiona will walk up those steps and you can say hello to your sister.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know about it. Look at that, I'm actually trembling now as we speak, and it's... I'll never forget this day anyway.
So, a big brother?
I just don't know what to say. It's just a miracle.
But anyway, if you turn over your right shoulder and just have a look up there, see those stairs there? The man waiting at the top is your brother. That's the start of meeting your birth family. Good luck. Go and say hello.
My heart was just absolutely beating like anything. When all I wanted to do was just just run. Seeing him for the first time, wow.
The moment when Fiona walked up them steps, there was an instant bond there. Come here. For a long time.
Well,
My sister.
what did I do?
Oh, God.
It was just a nice warm feeling when I gave him a big hug.
No, I never cry, but you've got me on the off part here.
It's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful feeling.
Oh, God.
It's been a long time coming.
I know.
Where have you been?
New Zealand. It's so lovely to meet you.
Can't be never enough. I've always been an only child, you know, for the last 49 years. I'd say today I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. Come on, Fiona. Come and meet my little grandchild there, George.
Hello, George. Oh.
Yeah. And my lovely daughter here, she's Louise.
Hello, Louise.
And we've got my youngest son after, my youngest son Matthew. And there's another son yet to come, but he's working, called Richard.
Oh, three.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, oh, I haven't got, missing out Lucy. Lucy, my other little grandchild, so I've got 4 grandchildren altogether.
Absolutely amazing. I've spent 24 years trying to find family, and a new door's opening and a new journey for me. I've got a brother. That's such a nice feeling.
Later that day, back at Lawrence's house, for the first time, Fiona gets to see photos of Gladys.
There's your mum there.
Wow.
But Gladys is about to shock everyone. Fiona Tapp has just met her brother, Lawrence, for the first time, after her birth mother, Gladys Howarth, suddenly refused to meet her.
There's your mum there.
Wow.
Yeah, just looks a bit like you.
Mum looks very, very pretty.
Yeah, she's been quite tall.
Blonde hair.
Bit of a coincidence there, isn't there?
If Fiona is never going to meet her birth mother, at least she now knows what Gladys looked like all those years ago. It's 3 weeks since leaving Fiona in England with her new family. I get a call. Fiona is home again and has news. Before she left Oldham, it seems Gladys had a change of heart.
I got to meet Gladys twice, and I really, really enjoyed it. I got to learn from her why I was adopted. I also learned that it had been very difficult for her to give me up. And I know I've got my sense of humour from her. She made me laugh so much. The love of animals has definitely come from her. And I just really enjoyed meeting her. It was great.
Fiona's not sure if she'll get a chance to see her mother again. But Lawrence and his family are already planning a trip to New Zealand.
Hi, my name's Wayne Innes. I'm trying to find my daughters Kylie and Amanda. I haven't seen them for 25 years and I miss them every day. I'd love to become a family again. I'd be eternally grateful if you could help me in this matter.
Wayne Innes is a retired caretaker who now lives at Snell's Beach, just north of Auckland. He lost contact with his two daughters a quarter of a century ago. A keen fisherman, he has a lot of time to think about how and why they vanished from his life.
I get very depressed when I think about them. I see the photo on my fridge every morning and I go to there and it does remind me of times I missed.
Wayne Innes married in 1973 and had two daughters, Kylie and Amanda. The marriage lasted for a decade and ended around the collapse of a family business.
I went around just to see them because I couldn't get through on the phone and they'd disappeared. They'd just been taken away and that was it. Since then I haven't seen them.
Wayne, until then, had access to his daughters whenever he wanted. He tried repeatedly to find Kylie and Amanda, but never could. Since that time, Wayne hasn't remarried or had any other children.
25 Christmases have been very lonely for me. A lot of them I've spent on my own because I've got no other family to come and see me. If I saw them, I don't know what I'd do. I'd fall to pieces, I tell you now. I'd just be a building wreck. It's terrible. I'm sorry, but it means the world to me.
I'm hoping that at least one of Wayne's daughters still uses the family surname. I find that the name Innes is uncommon, but in the white pages, Innes are all about hotel listings. It takes a while, but eventually I find an Amanda Innes. It turns out both Amanda and Kylie are still living in Auckland. Both now in their 30s. Kylie, a teacher, is married, and Amanda, a chef, is engaged.
Yeah.
Both have children, making Wayne a granddad.
So, who's who?
Amanda.
Kylie.
Hello.
Hi.
So, you guys haven't seen your dad since, what, you were 9 and you were 14?
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Why did you get separated?
I mean, my parents are separated, and I don't know if it was just too hard. We've often wondered why it just stopped.
Yeah.
But so we don't know.
It must have been really hard for you guys to have a dad who just disappeared out of your life.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
It was, especially me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a better age in terms of understanding the whole separation because, you know, I could see that some people just aren't good together.
What happened with you, Amanda?
One of my main memories is sitting by the letterbox waiting for him, hoping he would turn up. And he never did.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we do these stories, we often find there's sort of two truths, and your dad's story is that he came to pick you up one day and you'd just moved, disappeared. And nobody would tell him where you were.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's something I didn't know.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, would you like to see the message your dad's done for you and see what he has to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just push the button there. That'll be your dad.
Hi, Kylie and Amanda. It's your father here. I haven't seen you in 25 years and I'd love to get in touch with you again. You're always on my mind and I cannot forget you. I hope that this gets to you and you'd love to come up and see me. If you've got a family, I'd love to see the family as well. So please, find it in your heart to get back in contact with me. I miss you heaps and I'd love to see you again.
Wow.
So you'd like to meet your dad?
Never thought this day would come, to be honest.
When you lost contact with your daughters, they must have thought that you'd done the runner.
They mostly would have, yes. Yeah.
So they probably think you're the bad guy.
That's what I think they were told, yes. They think that I'm the bad guy, and I'm not. So, I want to try and straighten that out from the start off.
So you must realise there's a strong chance they won't want to see you.
There is a strong chance of that, yeah. But I'm hoping that they'll see past that and realise, you know, it wasn't my fault. And surely the mother could tell them something like that.
Well, I've met with Kylie and Amanda, and they do think that. They thought that you had abandoned them.
No.
So I showed them the message you did.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they cried.
Well, yeah, I'll cry too. I want to see them. I've got to see them again.
They'd like to meet you.
Thank you. I don't want to oh, God. I don't know what to leave that to me. I had to see her girl and he cried and no, it's been that.
So tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm looking forward to it. I won't sleep tonight. I mostly won't go to bed. I'll have to sit up. No means a lot to me. A lot. It's going to really be great. It's going to be the best day of my life for a long time.
Wayne is not aware of this, but his daughters' families have arrived to witness the reconciliation.
If you turn down there,
yeah.
See those two girls standing there?
Yes.
That's your girls. Would you like to go and see them?
Love to.
Good luck. And they're your girls.
The first thing I want to do is run to them, you know. And it just, the thought was, there's my daughters and they look so beautiful. I just remember just what I thought they'd look like too. Hi. Hi. I'm sorry, it's been so long. You've always been in my minds.
Oh, that first hug, that's pretty cool. Just to be able to hug Dad again.
Not only has Wayne rediscovered his daughters, but there is the added bonus of meeting their partners and his grandchildren.
And this is Ryan.
I'm Granddad. I'm the old man. Today has just been the best day for the rest of my life, really. It's just one day I will never, ever forget.
For 25 years, both sides of his family secretly blamed each other for losing contact. Wayne's Christmases will now be a lot brighter. Next week on Lost and Found.
I don't know why, but I just felt like I was unwanted.
Hamish heads to Fiji to find his birth mum. She searched for her birth mum in London.
Does she look like me? Do you think she could be my mum?
Now this Rangiora mum must face her past.
No, you haven't.
I don't know why, but I just felt like I was unwanted.
Learning he was adopted shattered his life.
I ran away from home.
It was like watching a traffic accident, you know, in slow motion.
Hamish heads to Fiji to find his birth mum. But will he get more than he bargained for?
I've got something here which I'd like to show you.
Also, she searched for her birth mum in London.
I was looking at all the ladies. Does she look like me? Do you think she could be my mum? Do you think she looks like me?
But when she had no luck, she left the country.
I do feel quite sort of isolated and alone.
Now this Rangiora mum must face her past.
No, you haven't.
I'm family from the past. Who are you?
Families that are lost and found.
That's the way it is. There's nothing much you can do about it.
They're always unpredictable.
I was born in Fiji and I was raised in New Zealand. When I was 15, I found out that I was adopted. It was a huge shock to me. Since then, I have always wondered where I've come from and who my birth parents were. Can you please help me find my birth mother?
To be taken away from your homeland and raised in another culture is not always easy. Hamish Ansell is 31. He and his partner live in Auckland, where he works as a window installer. They have a 3-year-old daughter, Olivia. Hamish had a happy upbringing with his adoptive family, but he has questions about his identity.
Yeah, I wasn't really brought too much Fijian, like I wasn't shown or taught how to speak Fijian or anything like that, so I think I'm Kiwi. Yeah, 23.
But Hamish was born in Fiji. He was barely 2 years old when his birth mother gave him up for adoption. Soon after, his new parents moved to New Zealand, where he grew up in Auckland. Hamish only found out he was adopted when his new parents adopted another child. You didn't find out until you were 15. How did it feel?
I felt really shocked and surprised, and I just had this, I don't know why, but I just felt like I was unwanted.
Confused and upset by the discovery that his parents weren't his birth parents, Hamish took to running away from home. He would return, but struggled to find his place again in the family.
I was a teenager, so I didn't know what to feel back then.
It's now 29 years since Hamish left his birth mother and his Fijian culture behind. Now he wants to rediscover his roots, starting with finding his birth mother. He only knows her name is Fiema or Emma Maramari Sala.
Like, she'd be able to tell me, like, where I come from, maybe who my dad was. I'd really like to know everything, like, be able to say to people, like, you're related to that person by blood, that's your cousin, you know, something like that, that'd be cool. Where are they going?
Hamish's partner fully supports him in finding his birth mother.
Let's go in the horsey.
Their daughter, Olivia, is now close to the age Hamish was when he was adopted.
I thought, I really wanted to do it for her, so I'll be able to tell her where she comes from. The truth is there's something made up.
Hamish's parents live in Auckland. They have vivid memories of Hamish's arrival into the family. Dennis Ansell is English and his wife Mary is Fijian. Tell me about adopting Hamish.
Oh, well, I wanted to adopt a child because when I went up and I saw, oh, it's Emma's child, so, but the child does make up our mind for us. Hamish went, and before we got to the car, he was already in the car and sat at the back seat, and that was it. Everybody just loved him. Yeah. Lovely little boy.
What do you know about his birth mother, Fiona?
Well, all girls in Fiji, we always get together, and that's why things were easy with her when she just, when she gave us Hamish, it was easy, because we were all friends.
You told him when he was about 14 that he was adopted. How did he cope?
He just sat there looking at us, thinking we were gone mad.
And I didn't like watching it. It was like watching a traffic accident, you know, in slow motion.
But, you know, I didn't want anybody else to tell him about it before, before me.
I still haven't worked out the rights and wrongs of that, whether we did the right thing or not. You know, I don't know. I still don't know.
Despite the challenges he faced, Hamish is deeply grateful for his upbringing and the support that Dennis and Mary continue to give him in his quest.
I love them. They've always been there when I needed them. But I just generally thought that my parents here were my parents, because that would explain, you know, that I look half Fijian and half something else. But it's not from them, it's from somebody else, which is a big question mark.
The Auckland Public Library's Research Centre has birth, death and marriage records for Fiji. But these are historical documents. There's nothing here that tells me whether the Emma is still alive and where she is now. One way to make progress, perhaps, is to track down the woman that the Emma and Mary used to associate with in Suva. I need someone on the ground in Fiji to help, and Mariah Vulu is just that person. So what I'm looking for, Mariah, is a bit of help from a good local journo like yourself to try and track down a woman who gave up her son for adoption 30 years ago. Two days later, and I have news from Mariah. It's time to take the search to the next stage. Well, we've been doing some research trying to find your mum, and I know where someone is who almost certainly knows where your mother might be.
Are you serious?
Yep. I'm going to go up there and try and find them. It's a bit of a punt, but would you like to come up to Fiji with me?
What?
There's no guarantee whatsoever that we'll find your mum, and even if we find her, she might still not want to see you. You still happy to come?
Yeah, okay.
I land in Nandi, Fiji, ahead of Hamish, and head to Suva. Hamish's two mothers, the Emma and Mary, were in touch even after Hamish and his new family left Fiji. So why did they lose contact? Mary even sent a photo of Hamish to the Emma, but she never heard if she received it. Mariah, my contact here in Suva, is a senior journalist with the Fiji Sun newspaper. I'm hoping her inquiries have resulted in good news for Hamish. Hiya, old Suva Yacht Club, eh?
Bully David.
So you think you might have found the Emma?
I think I have. I got the address from a woman named Sylvia, and she's pretty sure VM is the lady that gave up her baby. But she never gave a phone contact or anything.
You haven't gone up there at all yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Thank you. Mariah believes the Emma's worked all her life doing domestic work. She's what they call a house girl in Fiji. An address is a good start. There may have been a stigma around adoption 29 years ago. So even if the Emma is at this address, I don't know if she'll be welcoming or defensive. And she might already know someone is looking for her. "31-year-old Hamish wants to find his birth mother, the Emma, in Fiji. I now have an address, but there's a chance the Emma might not want to be found." There could be many simple reasons why the Emma isn't home, but maybe it's because she doesn't want to meet Hamish. Hamish has now arrived in Suva. Coming back to his birthplace after 30 years brings up a mixed bag of emotions.
Still can't believe that I'm here. Feels like a dream. Oh, it's so beautiful. feel like home away from home. I feel sad. I wish I could, like, you know, talk to people, ask them questions and stuff, and Fijian. Wish I knew more about it. You know, been disconnected for so long.
I'm back at the house where I believe Fiona lives. Again, no one is home.
Excuse me, you guys, you don't know the lady who lives here at all, do you? Yeah. You don't know her? Okay, all right. Well, look, thank you anyway.
This empty house is the last link in the search for Fiona. All I can do now is leave my contact phone number.
So, I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that the woman who's been helping us, a reporter from the Fiji Sun, found out that this is where your mother might live. But I've been up there twice, and there's no one answering the door.
Okay.
I left a note on the door up there, and hopefully she'll ring me.
Close, but not close enough, eh?
Essentially, we just have to wait.
And waiting on the end of the tether is one of the most frustrating things. With no other leads, we have no choice. Perhaps this will be a fruitless search. But later that day, finally, a call.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, is that Fiona?
Yeah, that's Emma.
Oh, Fiona, thank you for ringing back. I'm David Lomas. I'm the man who left the message on your door the other day.
Yeah.
Did you by chance have a boy about 30 years ago who you gave up for adoption?
Yeah, that's my son.
Well, your boy Hamish is looking for you. He's 31 now, and he would like to meet you.
Yeah. I pray every night, every day, every night for my Hamish.
You've prayed and prayed for this.
Yeah, I just pray every night and every day.
That's good, Fiona. Now, I was wondering, I have a video message which Hamish would like me to show to you. Could I meet you and show that to you?
Yes. I like to see my Hamish.
I look forward to meeting you, Fiona.
Thank you, David.
All right. Morve.
Morve.
Finally, a breakthrough. Surely Fiona would have formed a bond with Hamish by the time he was 2 years old. So why did she choose to give him away?
Are you Emma?
Yes.
Hello. I'm David.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming down. Very nice to meet you. Have a seat there. I'm sorry to have been all mysterious, but you had a little boy here in Fiji 30 years ago?
Yes.
And what happened?
At that time, David, I was working. Nobody was looking after my children.
And Hamish's dad, where was he?
He left me. Drink too much, come home drunk and go with anybody else.
How many children did you have when you had Hamish?
I have 4 children.
And he was the youngest?
Yeah, he was the youngest one.
With 4 children, you were struggling?
I struggled. I don't like anybody to support my children, only me, because I'm working hard and give a chance to them. And one day, those 2 couples come home, my friend, a good friend of mine,
yes.
And they want to take Hamish.
And the woman you gave Hamish to for adoption, that's the lady we call Mary in New Zealand?
Yeah, to him, to those 2 couples.
It must have been very hard just giving up your youngest.
But I want him to give a teacher better for him, eh?
So would you like to see your boy?
Yes.
Okay, so if you were just to push that button there, that's your boy.
Hi, Emma. Hamish. I'm your son. I have no memory of you whatsoever, but I'd really like to meet you. So you'd be able to tell me who I am, where I came from. I've got a 3-year-old. We know that we're half Fijian, but we just don't know what the other half is. So I'd really like to sit down and have a chat and catch up.
I'm sorry.
Because I can't go on not knowing. for heaps of reasons.
That's your boy.
Really missed him.
You've really missed him.
He's a big boy now.
Well, I gather you'd like to meet him.
Yes. Why not, David?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get him here tomorrow if you'd like to see him then.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you, David.
There's one more important question I need to ask Fiona.
So, all your children the same dad?
Same father with my children.
So Hamish has full brothers and sisters?
Yes.
I don't think he knows that.
Fiona asked me to visit her home later that day. There's something there for me to see.
That's my Hamish.
So this is the photo Mary sent you?
Yeah.
And this photo always stays up on your mantelpiece?
All the time.
So you've never forgotten Hamish?
I always remember him all the time.
So Hamish has two brothers and a sister that he doesn't know exist. I doubt that Hamish will be expecting any of this.
Well, we've had some success.
Hamish Ansell, a window installer living in Auckland, was told when he was a teenager that he was adopted. Now he's about to find out about his Fijian family.
Well, we've had some success.
Okay.
And yesterday afternoon I met your mum. I showed her the video which you did, and she cried and cried.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
And she said she'd prayed and prayed, but you'd find her.
Yeah.
She told me that when she gave you up, she had 4 children.
Okay, 4.
You were the youngest, the baby.
That's awesome.
I've got something here which I'd like to show you. Have a look at those. Do you know who those 2 boys are?
This one's me, I think. I don't know who the other one is.
That's your brother?
Okay. That's amazing.
As I said, your mum told us she had 4 children, and you all have the same dad.
All right.
So you're full brothers and sisters.
This is so awesome. I had no idea.
And a mum who's just going to hug you to death. So, got some time this afternoon to meet your mum?
Yeah, definitely.
You must be churning up inside.
It's crazy, it's crazy.
It's later that day, and Hamish is preparing to meet his birth mother for the first time in nearly 30 years.
It's like a whole lot of emotions just trying to come through one door, like they're all getting jammed and nothing's coming out.
Fiona has arrived to meet her long-lost son.
So, can you see down there a lady in a red dress at the end there?
Yeah?
Guess who that is?
My mum?
You want to go down and see her?
Yes.
Good luck.
It was just very overwhelming. It was just a huge weight off my chest kind of thing, like I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Hello, son. my boy. Oh, my heart beating. I want to cry more. I can't. My throat just, I can't. I know. That's my boy. I love you, I love you. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me, my son. Please forgive me. I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
All the butterflies in my stomach were just going doof, 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 doof. Like I felt so much relief, you know, like it was a very nice hug.
Lovely boy, man. This was very nice. It was my feeling. And I knew I lost my boy, now I found my boy. Big boy, handsome boy. I'm happy, I'm so happy. Oh, my boy. I love you. Forgive me, my boy.
I feel like a new person. I don't know, I feel like I've been baptized. I feel great.
That night, Hamish's sister, Shirley, arrives from Lautoka to meet Hamish and to celebrate with the extended family. Next morning, and Sister Shirley is still coming to terms with having a new brother.
My brother. And I keep watching him, I keep looking at him. I told him, I miss you so much. I didn't believe this will happen to our family. He's very quiet, but I'm very cheeky. I'm going to teach him how to speak in Fijian, and I'm going to teach him the traditionals and cultures of the Fijians.
Hamish also has two older brothers. One's overseas with the British Army, and another's just started a new job in Nandi. Soon, Hamish hopes to take his daughter Olivia to Fiji to meet the family.
I think I understand her behavior now. See where she gets it from.
So, Male, this is your first cup?
The men, they put on a kapa ceremony. Very proper, very traditional the way they did it. They put on this logo like a hangi.
Hamish, kembali. The logo is ready for you. You can jump in now.
My parents in New Zealand will always be my mom and dad. They're the ones that raised me. But I got like a whole lot of add-ons that I've got to get used to, you know. I'm still trying to come to terms with it because it's such a huge feeling. Just want to say thank you for welcoming me in.
And if all that isn't enough, Hamish finds out his birth father is alive and living in New Zealand. He hopes to find him too, someday.
And when we started this, you said you were a Kiwi. What do you sort of think you are now?
A Kiwi / Fijian. Yep, half and half. Straight up and down.
I'm trying to find my birth mum. When I was born in London in 1967, she called me Kim. I've always wanted to know who she was, and for the last 10 years, it has been very important to me. You're my last hope. Please, can you help me?
The hardest thing about moving to a new country is often the things you leave behind.
You've got 2 shots now, because Rosie hit the spots first.
Jo Anderson is a happily married mother who, along with husband Nigel,
Looks like we've set him up, Rosie.
and their children, moved from Tilbury in England to Rangiora almost 7 years ago in search of a better life. Jo now works with teenage mums. It's a job that's reignited her desire to find her own birth mother.
So I look at them and think, well, this is how my mum was at this age with her child, and that if she'd got the help and support that the mums get where I work, my life could have been completely different.
London-born Jo was put up for adoption when she was just 6 weeks old.
I had a really good childhood, two loving, wonderful parents that, you know, I couldn't have wanted more from parents.
Joe's parents wanted a new baby after they lost their only child and found they couldn't have any more children. Joe always knew she was adopted, and though she often wondered about her birth mother, she didn't want to upset her parents by trying to find her.
My adopted dad was very protective of me, and I think if I'd have tried to find my birth mum, that he would have felt that he'd lost another child.
When both her mum and dad passed away in the 1990s, Joe finally felt she could begin searching for her birth mother.
I only know that she was 18 and she was alone in London. She'd come from Scotland, and that she just wanted a better life for me.
Joe's husband Nigel, a maintenance worker, and their 3 children, Daniel, Rosie and Craig, all support Joe in her search.
It would mean the world to her if she could find a birth mum, especially if she had brothers and sisters. She'd have a proper family again.
It's a crazy, 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 crazy mixed up world.
Joe hired private detectives in London to help find her mother, whose name is Margaret Elliott, also known as Margot. But they had no luck. So, without any blood relatives living in England, Joe was happy to move to a new life in New Zealand. But before leaving, Joe went on her own sentimental journey to the one place where she knew that she had been in the arms of her mother. Her adoption papers showed a boarding house in Earl's Court. It's where Margot stayed before she handed Joe over for adoption. It's now a hotel, and Joe went and stayed there on her birthday.
I can remember walking in and going up the stairs and the bedroom we was in, and just sort of walking and looking out the window and thinking, wow, she could have stood here, she could have actually been in this room. And I was looking at all the ladies saying to Nigel, does she look like me? Do you think she could be my mum? Does she think she looks like me? Just because I sort of thought, well, she could come back to that same place on my birthday just to remember me.
Did your mother leave any little mementos for you when she gave you up?
Yes. In the adoption file was also 2 handwritten letters from my mum. The first one is dated the 15th of May, 68, and she's writing to the adoption agency, I would be most grateful if you would forward a photograph of Kim to me. Yours faithfully, Margot Elliott. Hey.
So it's a 19-year-old girl writing to ask for a photo of the baby she'd given away.
Yeah.
I wonder if she still has that photo. English-born Jo Anderson is looking for her birth mother, Margot Elliott.
I would be most grateful if you would forward a photograph of Kim to me. Yours faithfully, Margot Elliott.
So it's a 19-year-old girl writing to ask for a photo of the baby she'd given away.
Yeah.
I wonder if she still has that photo.
Yeah, that would be nice. Nice to think that she's kept that, and that was really nice that they gave her that photo.
The private detectives Joe hired in London made all the obvious searches. So I decided to head to England and take a different approach. Instead of searching for Margot Elliott, I concentrate my search on her parents. And when I get Margot's mother's death certificate, there's a breakthrough. The person who reported the death is her son-in-law, Donald Clark from Paisley in Scotland. Everything starts fitting together. Through the Paisley Soccer Supporters Club, I get a phone number for Donald Clark. I'm hoping he and Margot are still married.
Hello?
Hello, is Mrs. Clark there, please?
Yes, she's not here.
I'm trying to get hold of Margaret Clark, who used to be Margaret Elliott.
Who is that that's calling?
Look, it's a personal matter. It's about a family member from her past. Is there a good time I can call her?
I'm family from the past. Are you an agent or what?
No, I'm not an agent, no.
I'm her husband. If you want me to know, tell me anything. You don't have any secret.
Donald puts me through the ringer. It's not my place to tell him that his wife may have had a secret baby, so I choose my words carefully.
Do you know if Mrs. Clark used to live in West Cromwell Road in Earl's Court?
Margot. Yeah, Margot lived in West Cromwell Road, yes.
Yeah.
That was in 1960.
Well, it's related to a baby that the mother adopted.
Yes. Kim. Adopted, yes.
So did Margot have a daughter named Kim?
Yes.
I'm ringing on behalf of Jo, the baby Kim. She's trying to track down Margot. Is there a number I could give Margot a call on?
Yes.
In about half an hour?
Yeah, that's fine.
So it seems I have the correct Margot, and confirmation she gave up a baby for adoption nearly 50 years ago. While Donald was helpful on the phone, I have no idea how Margot might react.
Hello?
Hello, is Margot there, please?
Speaking?
Oh, hi, Margot. My name's David Lomas, and I'm from New Zealand. Your daughter, who you know as Kim, but is now called Jo, is looking for you.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe it.
Look, I'm in London now, and Jo has done a video message which she would like me to show to you. Can I meet you and show you that message?
Oh, God, I can't let a dream. A dream I thought would never happen. Absolutely fantastic. I would love it.
Okay. I head for Wandsworth in London's southwest. Margot and her husband Donald are meeting me in their local.
Are you Margot and Donald?
Yes.
I'm David.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, David. So, Joanne, Kim as she was then, what happened?
I went out with this chap 2 or 3 times at the most and fell pregnant. I didn't have a job and I didn't have anywhere to stay. I was staying with Donald's brother and his girlfriend at the time, and I started going out with Donald. I wasn't able to tell my mum and dad because I don't think they would have appreciated it very much. So I was pretty scared.
Margot met Donald around the time she was pregnant with Jo. For some years, they had an on-again, off-again relationship, then married in 1977. They had the first of their 2 children, 13 years after Margot had given up the baby she had named Kim.
The day you gave her up must have been hard.
I had Kim in the October, and I would dearly have loved to have kept her. Donald wanted to keep her, but we weren't living anywhere, we didn't have proper jobs. It just wasn't feasible. So, reluctantly, I gave her up for adoption in the beginning of the following year. And I've regretted it ever since. Had I known in hindsight that I was going to end up with Donald, I would never, ever have given her up, ever.
Did you ever try to find her?
At the very beginning, but the Adoption Society said to me I couldn't look for her. It was entirely up to her when she was of age. If she wanted to get in touch with me, she would look for me. That I shouldn't have been doing anything because I'd given her up, and therefore I shouldn't be going looking for her.
What do you remember of her?
She was very good. Well, for the short time I had her, she was great. She slept all night, very seldom cried. She was just beautiful. And I still think about her all the time.
Did you ever have a photo of your little girl?
I got one, and I had my suitcase stolen. And she was, I think, about 6 months. And it was in the suitcase. It was the only thing I ever had. So, no, I've never... I've got nothing.
So, would you like to see your little girl?
I've just found the birth mother of Jo Anderson. Jo's an English-born mother of 3 who's now living in New Zealand. Margot Elliott gave Jo up for adoption at 6 weeks and hasn't seen her since.
So, would you like to see your little girl?
Hello, Margaret. My name is Joanne Anderson, but you would have known me as Kim. I'm living in New Zealand now, and I have 3 wonderful children and a husband, and we would all really like to meet you. I'd also like you to know not to have any regrets, as I had a really wonderful childhood, 2 really loving parents. The only thing that was missing in my life was brothers and sisters, and I hope that by meeting you, I might have brothers and sisters. So please agree to meet me. It'd be really good. Thank you.
She's like my mum.
Very, very. So, she's all grown up?
It's absolutely beautiful. Can't believe how like my mum she is. She's so like...
When baby Kim came into the world, London was swaying in the swinging 60s. Abbey Road, The Stones, Carnaby Street and bell-bottoms. But life was no fun for teenaged, unmarried mum Margot Elliott, who spent the first weeks of her baby's life right here. This hotel, back then a boarding house, was the only place Margot could afford as she pondered her future.
So 18 years old, with a wee baby, and you came back here?
Yeah, and I had a single room, me and my baby, just the 2 of us.
And where did Kim sleep?
I'm afraid she was in a drawer because I couldn't afford a cot or a Moses basket.
And you made the decision you had to give Kim up?
I had to. It was just too horrendous. 2 of us just in this little single room.
But one of the things she did do before she moved to New Zealand, she came and booked in here at this hotel and sat in a room here.
Did she really?
And stayed here just so she could think about you and her.
Really? Oh, what a lovely thing to do. She sounds an absolute gem of a person. She sounds quite amazing. I can't believe she was born to me.
Back in New Zealand, Jo and her family have been waiting anxiously. They know I'm coming to update them, but have no idea what I've discovered.
You've thought about finding your birth mother for a long time. Do you have a picture in your mind about what she might look like?
I just imagine her to be like me, but with darker hair. I don't know why, but that's just how I suppose because that's how I pictured her when I was younger. So that picture has never changed as I've got older.
Well, I've been to London and I've met a woman called Margot.
No, you haven't. You haven't really, have you? Have you really? Oh my God.
She cried when I told her you were looking for her.
I can't believe you really said that. Really? Have you really found her? Oh, can you believe that? Can you really believe that?
And her husband, Donald, he's always known about you.
Oh, God.
So you'd be happy to go to England to meet her?
Oh, my God. No.
2 weeks later, and Jo is in England. It's the country she left 7 years ago when she and her family packed up and moved to New Zealand. Jo is about to get the one thing she has wanted her entire life, to meet her birth mother.
It means so much to me, and now I'm back in England and it's more real. it just felt quite surreal because I was so far away, but now I'm actually here, knowing that she's somewhere waiting to be found. It could completely change my life. Well, it will change my life, I know it will.
So you must be feeling the butterflies.
Yeah, I was quite calm, but now I'm really nervous, yeah. And really excited and, yeah.
So if you look over your shoulder down there, you see a couple of heads bobbing over the thing there. That's your mum? Should wander down and say hello.
The closer I got, I could see that I looked like her. And as she turned and looked at me, it was like walking towards myself. So I knew, yeah, this is definitely my mum.
I didn't want to let her go. Reminded me all these years back. I just want to keep cuddling her and cuddling her. Make up for all the years.
I've been happy. I've been happy.
I know, that's all I was interested in. And I saw your video and you said, and that's the main thing, that's all I wish for you, man. You have lovely parents and a great life.
Yeah.
But at the time, I couldn't give you it.
No, I know that, and I understand that.
I know, what we like.
Oh, just incredible, just unbelievable to finally, be able to hug my mum. Just amazing. And I look like you.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad.
This is Donald?
Yes.
Oh, so pleased for you. I really am, honestly. I really mean that. You've watched she is a baby. Didn't want to get you up.
I hope this is the start of lots to come. She was telling me that her mum died 20 years ago this week, so she's lost her mum and found her mum, which is lovely.
No, we've been skiing on a
Margot, a civil servant, and Donald, who worked at British Airways, are now both retired. Joe stayed on another week with them in England.
So this is a photo of me when I think I must have been about 4 months old, just after I'd just been adopted.
This is the one that your mum sent me, which I can't believe. It's amazing. The very picture that she sent me, and for you to pick that out, I just think it's amazing.
Is that the one that you asked for?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my parents. This is Paul, my dad, and Rosie, my mum.
My goodness. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best weeks of my life. Well, I just feel as if I've known her forever. She was just so easy to talk to, and we're very alike.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's incredible.
Joe also met the brother and sister she'd always dreamed of having.
I'm really happy. It's everything that I could have hoped for. There's a definite instant connection there, and that's my story.
Damn. That's lovely, and what a lovely story it is to end so well.
Next week on Lost and Found, a child who could be anywhere.
I didn't even know if he was alive.
A young mum confused by culture.
I've struggled because I don't know that side of me.
And a young share milker who wants to find her dad.
It's an unspoken subject.
A baby she never saw.
I didn't even know if he was alive.
And never talked about.
I kept a secret for a long time because I felt ashamed.
A child who could be anywhere.
I would desperately like to meet him and ask his forgiveness.
A young mum confused by culture.
I've always felt a strong connection to Māori.
So who is her birth father?
I've struggled because I don't know that side of me.
Just left Bill.
And
Hi.
Hello, buddy.
A young shear milker who wants to find her dad.
Your mum hasn't told you?
No, it's an unspoken subject.
A man her mother wants nothing to do with.
So in the back of my mind, he might turn around and not want anything to do with me.
Families that are lost and found.
Are you for real?
They're always unpredictable.
No.
I gave up my baby boy for adoption in 1974. He has been in my heart and thoughts every day since. I often wonder what he's doing. I just hope that wherever he is, he's happy, safe, and loved. I do have many regrets, so I'm asking if you will be able to help me.
Giving up a child for adoption can be hard, but finding that child again can be even harder. Anne Moffat is a 60-year-old nurse who has lived in Christchurch most of her life. She has 2 adult daughters. Anne has always carried a secret, one she now wants out in the open.
So you're looking for your boy, Brent. He'd be 40 now. What do you know about him?
Nothing, actually. I do remember dark hair.
And you never told your mum and dad?
No.
Your brothers or sisters?
No.
So that's 40 pretty tough years for you.
Yeah, it has been. I felt pretty bad.
"19-year-old Anne had just finished her nursing training when she had a one-night stand with a man at a party in Christchurch and became pregnant. Ashamed, she fled to Sydney, where she secretly gave birth to a boy. She named him Brent.
I hadn't heard... Sorry. I hadn't heard Brent cry, so I didn't even know if he was alive.
2 days later, while signing adoption papers, Anne found out her baby was a healthy boy.
I was pretty naive about how things went, really. And I really felt like I didn't have any choice but to give my son away. I had a lot of regrets. He's been in my thoughts and my heart every day. And many times I've wanted to find him, but I really didn't know how.
3 years after giving Brent away, Anne married an Australian and then returned to New Zealand in 1977. She has 2 daughters and divorced after 16 years of marriage. Her son Brent has always been a closely guarded secret.
I kept a secret for a long time because I felt ashamed. But I'm not ashamed of him, and I would love my daughters to meet their brother. And I would desperately like to meet him too and ask his forgiveness.
Anne gives me permission to apply for the adoption records. To find Anne's son, I really need these documents. Luckily, there's no restriction on these papers, and I'm able to collect them in Sydney. But there's a problem. The surname of the adoptive parents is Hall, a very common name in the English world. And the name they gave their new son, Martin, doesn't help either. There is something else I want to see in Sydney. The hospital in Surrey Hills where 19-year-old Anne, alone, scared and ashamed, gave up her son. It's now apartments, but even today it feels foreboding, and I can imagine how it must have been for Anne all those years ago. Searching for John Hall, the adoptive father, proves difficult. So instead I delve into the background of the adoptive mother, English-born Jackie. Through her birth records, I find she had brothers, including one living in New Zealand. Then a series of phone calls and emails leads me to John and Jackie Hall. They were both actually raised in New Zealand and returned here to live in Tauranga when Martin was young. They tell me their son is now living as far from New Zealand as it's possible to be. Martin now lives in Sweden. He moved to Stockholm after growing up in Tauranga, where he was a top golfer. He's agreed to meet me.
Well, I don't think it's hard to recognise you. You look like a New Zealand boy in Sweden.
Oh.
So, bit of a surprise when I rang you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's nothing that you think about exactly to hear something like that. So it's, yeah, definitely.
Adoption? Did you always know you were adopted?
Yeah, I knew as early as you could know. I never really had any problems with that either. So I guess I was thankful that I got adopted out, so I would have the given a life that maybe someone else couldn't give me. So.
Martin has a Swedish wife, Marie, and 2 children. They met in New Zealand when they were studying sports medicine. He's been in Sweden for 12 years and is a golf course superintendent. Some years ago, Marie tried to help Martin discover his roots. But back then, he wasn't quite ready.
We actually did try and find something when we were over in Aussie 8 or 9 years ago. And we tried to find that hospital that he was born in, but the hospital wasn't there anymore. And so he felt maybe a little bit pushed, and then we sort of backed off.
But now his birth mother is looking for him.
Well, do you think you'd like to see your mum? Your other mum?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, that's Swedish. It's wrong language. Absolutely, that would be great.
Hello, Brent. I'm your birth mother. I would so much like to meet you. I never got the chance to meet you when you were born. I just hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Thank you.
Oh. Hmm? Yep.
Your birth mum conceived you in Christchurch, and your dad was a part Maori chap. Did you ever wonder how you got your darker skin?
I've heard all sorts. Yeah. I've heard. I used to call myself a Heinz. 52 different varieties, so I have no idea. So.
Anne doesn't remember anything else about your birth dad, but would you like to meet her? Anne Moffat was a teenager when she fell pregnant. She fled to Sydney to secretly have her baby. She never saw her son before giving him away. I've just found Anne's son, Martin Hall, in Sweden, and shown him Anne's message.
I just hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Yep.
So, would you like to meet him?
Yeah, that's probably been one of the parts that I've thought about. It's like bounced around in my head for a fair while with mixed emotions and that sort of stuff. But it was never really a thought that I would want to. But oh.
It's time to update Anne. She's waiting back in Christchurch. She has no idea I've found Martin, the son she's never seen.
Well, I've spoken to a man called Martin Hall. And he's your son.
I had a terrible fear that he may have passed away and I'd never get to meet him.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to meet me.
Martin lives on the other side of the world in Sweden. But he's going to come to New Zealand to meet you. And he'd like to see you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy, I'm afraid, all at the same time. Oh.
2 weeks later, Anne arrives in Tauranga to meet Martin, who's flown home from Sweden. But Anne's journey will involve more than just meeting her long-lost son. Martin's adoptive parents want to meet her first.
Oh, gosh.
It's a daunting prospect for Anne, facing up to the guilt she has felt for 40 years.
This is Jackie. I'll let you go and say hello to Martin's mum.
Hi. I love it. Welcome to our home. Thank you.
It's nice to see you after all this time. Do you want to come and meet John?
Would love to. Thank you.
And I know that you haven't seen any photos of Martin and you haven't seen him growing up, so I've got some photos here and I thought you'd like to see it. So this is it.
Oh my gosh.
This is the first time that Anne has ever seen what the son she gave birth to 40 years ago looks like.
That is him. Him with his brother, so I don't know, he would have to have been 2. This is in a house in Sydney. And then we go on to, Nathan was going to school, so yes, he'll definitely be 2. And that's him. Isn't he gorgeous? Do you want a box of tissues? I've got a box over there. But you see, he had a big puku.
Oh my gosh, all I remember is his dark hair. That's all I ever saw.
Big breaths, big breaths.
My greatest fear. All I wanted was for Martin to be loved, safe, and coming here to meet you. And John has just answered that question for me.
So you do know, don't you? That's great love.
Thank you.
You know, you've given us a gift because we couldn't have children, so we adopted 2 boys. He wanted 5, but we stopped at 2. That's right. And we couldn't have asked for anything better, so you don't know how much we thank you.
Martin's home from Sweden. He's yet to meet Anne, but he knows she's already met his much-loved parents. Their tick of approval has been comforting.
My dad said it's like there's nothing about her that I won't like. So pretty relaxed now. Probably a little bit less relaxed than what I think, but.
It's been a pretty sad, shameful guilt journey, but I'm ready to meet my son for the very first time. And
If you were to look over your left shoulder down there, just down there is a man standing. That's Martin. So, go and say hello to him.
Anne Moffat has just met the adoptive parents of the son she gave away when she was a young nurse. Now she's about to meet her son, Martin, for the first time.
I'm ready to meet my son for the very first time. And
If you were to look over your left shoulder down there, just down there is a man standing. That's Martin. So, go and say hello to him.
thank you. felt like a 19-year-old girl seeing her son for the very first time. It was just amazing.
He's just as nervous as you, love.
Thank you. Thank you. I could see that he had forgiven me and there was nothing there. He just let me hug him and he hugged me back. The very, very first time I held my son, it was just mutual.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. It's the first time ever that I've met you. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what this felt really good. Yeah, pretty emotional, more than what I thought I would. I found out the new meaning of being speechless anyway, but it was really good.
When Jackie and John Hall adopted Martin all those years ago, they wondered if one day his birth mother would come into their lives.
It's so relaxed with his birth mum that it's unbelievable.
It's almost like it was meant to be.
Right to the very edge.
Martin and Anne are now in regular contact. She hopes to visit Sweden soon to meet her grandchildren, while Martin is looking forward to meeting his 2 new sisters.
I don't feel any shame or guilt or not even sadness now. I just feel just blessed, really. I have another family.
Hi, my name's Amber and I'm looking for my father, Glenn Muir. I've heard that he's part Māori, so I'd like to know if that's true and whereabouts he comes from, so I can then find out where I come from. It'd be really, really good to get to know him. What was it? Oh, it's a cake. It's the candles.
Amber Oliver is a 25-year-old mum living in Ruakaka, just south of Whangarei. She's studying to become a social worker. Amber has 2 children, 8-year-old Blake and Bailey, who is 3. Amber was born in Dunedin and grew up with her mum and stepfather and 3 half-siblings. She doesn't really know why her birth dad wasn't around.
Study never done?
No, sociology, it's a hard one. It's really interesting though.
So, when you were a little girl, did you think about him, wonder where he was, who he was?
Yeah, all the time. Especially when I'd see other kids with their fathers or mum and dads together. And
Shed a little tears sometimes?
yeah, especially in my teenage years. It was the worst. It was horrible, especially to my mum. Yeah, she put up with a lot and trying to explain to me what happened, but didn't matter what she said, I was never going to believe it or understand it. So, yeah.
Her mum believes Amber's biological father is Maori, a man she briefly met when both were working at the Dunedin A&P show back in the summer of 1988.
I don't know how much Māori he has, but I've always felt a strong connection to te reo, to Māori.
Neither her mother or her stepfather are Maori, so Amber's realisation that she's drawn to Maori culture has her curious to know more.
I was brought up very Pākehā, but yeah, at school I was chosen to be the one that would go to the marae and as head of our school and things like that, so yeah.
You don't know what got you interested in Māori culture?
No, I think it's more, you just feel it, sort of just a spiritual connection to it. I love it, I love the whole culture. Yeah, it's all of it, it's beautiful.
reached a turning point when, as part of her social work degree, she was given an assignment that was called Ko-Wai-O, Māori for Who Am I? But Amber couldn't complete the paper because she didn't know her biological father's heritage. And that upset her a lot.
Like, I've struggled because I don't know that side of me. I wasn't able to fill in those gaps and be able to identify where my maanga was or, you know, my awa and stuff. So, yeah.
Amber knows her dad knew of her existence. But when she was 3, her mum left for South Island and they moved north.
Has he ever been in contact with you?
No, not at all.
Have you seen a photograph? Do you know what he looks like?
Wouldn't have a clue what he looks like.
So this man's ignored you for 25 years, but you want to find him?
Yeah. I guess I'm not too worried about the ignored me part of it. Since doing the degree, it's really made me realise how important it is for me to find them. I'd feel complete. I'd feel like I'm a whole person. So it'd be huge. You know where I come from, and my heritage is.
If Glenn Muir doesn't have Maori heritage, it would be quite a shock for Amber. Searching birth records at the library, I don't trace Glenn. However, I do find a useful listing. Amber's dad has a brother with an unusual first name. Then on Facebook, I check the Glenn Muirs, and one living in Australia has a brother called Grayson.
Hello.
Hello, is that Glenn Muir?
Yeah.
Glenn, my name is David Lomas, and I'm calling from New Zealand.
Yeah?
Did you once live in Dunedin?
Yeah, I did.
Look, I'm calling because someone's looking for you.
Just this left field.
A young woman called Amber Oliver.
You're kidding me. Oh, wow. I've been looking for her. I had people trying to find her in New Zealand, but yeah, I've been trying to look for her for years.
Look, I've got a message from Amber.
Yeah?
One of the things that she wants to know is she Maori? Glenn's been living near Melbourne for 12 years. We've agreed to meet in a pub just down the road from where he lives in Geelong. He's also told me that after Amber was born, her mother sent him a letter confirming he was the father.
Glenn?
Yeah.
David.
How are you?
Thank you. So, you got a daughter looking for you?
Oh, I have. I knew I'd find her one day.
What was your relationship with Amber's mother?
It was only a fleeting moment over a few days. And that was about it when I was on the road, when I was young.
And so it was just the letter from her which said...
Stated, yeah, you are the father of this child and don't ever bother getting in contact with us at all.
You were not to get in contact?
Ever.
Had you ever had doubts over the years whether it was 100%?
At the start. But like, I had blood tests.
And whose idea was that?
My father's. Yeah. My father's, yeah. 98.9% chance.
But over the years, you've searched for Amber?
Countless times.
Did you have any luck, or what?
Stonewalled.
Yeah.
Stonewalled from the government, social welfare.
So the mum didn't ask you to pay child support or anything?
Oh, the government did that.
Yeah, but they wouldn't tell you where she was?
Not a hope. All I ever got was date of birth and full name.
Yeah. And a bill?
And a bill.
So, would you like to see your daughter?
Oh, absolutely. She is part of my life that has been missing for a long time.
If you were just to push on that button there. 25-year-old Amber Oliver doesn't know why she's drawn to all things Maori. But she thinks her birth father may hold the answers. I've just found him in Geelong.
She is part of my life that has been missing for a long time.
If you were just to push on that button there.
Hi Glenn, I'm Amber and I believe that I am your biological daughter. Over the years growing up, I've always wondered who my father was, what you look like, where you came from. It's been quite hard not knowing where I come from. From what I understand, you're part Māori, so that's huge to me. I've got a couple of kids, which are your grandchildren. They'd like to know who you are, and it would just be really great to meet you.
Unbelievable. It's incredible. She looks like me.
Is that good?
Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable.
You would like to meet her?
Absolutely, I'm happy to meet her.
Yeah. One of the big things for Amber is that she's been very much drawn to the Maori culture, yet her mother and her stepdad are not Maori.
We go back a long time. We go back right through the South Island. We're Ngāi Tahu, but like my mother was Solomon. We're all part of the Moriori. We come from Temuka, which is a massive lineage of Ngāi Tahu family and Ngāi Tahu tribe. And I'd love to take her there and go and meet them all. There's a lot of people right up and down the South Island that would be just amazed to see her, and let alone probably see me again.
But Glenn tells me that's not likely to happen for a while. His wife Paula is terminally ill.
She's got a lot of problems going on with cancer. She's actually doing chemotherapy right now.
And because of that, you cannot go to New Zealand to meet Amber?
Not really. We've been trying to go back to New Zealand, but yeah, we're just trying to get that settled down, and then we can actually go back. Start it. Look at this.
Hi Glenn. Wow. I'm Amber and I believe that I am your biological daughter.
Glenn's been married to Paula for 12 years. They have a 4-year-old son, John.
What you look like, where you came from, who your family is.
Glenn's been in Australia for more than 20 years. He's an earthworking contractor and now spends time looking after Paula.
It would just be really great to meet you.
Wow.
Is that cool?
That's your sister.
That's your sister.
I know.
When we first met, he was straight up front and said he had a daughter, that he never knew, that he would like to know, but was very hesitant in finding it because she was so young. When we thought she turned 18, we thought, let's have a go. But it was a bit hard and we got put off, but it's always been in the back of his mind.
It's now time to talk again to Amber back in Ruakaka. She's no idea I've found her father, where he is, or just how much Maori heritage she's about to discover. Well, the other day I was in Australia and I met a man.
What? No. What?
And it was your dad.
Are you so, really?
Yeah.
Nah. Really?
Yeah.
So he's not here, right?
No, he's not here.
No.
He's in Australia, but
Oh, is he?
he said he's had people looking for you for years and just couldn't find you.
Oh my gosh. You're serious?
Yeah.
Anything else you can tell me? Is he Māori? Have you met him?
I'll let him tell you that.
Oh. Wow. Has he got other kids?
He can tell you.
Ah, yes, he does. I'll take that as it he does.
Amber is on the way to Geelong to meet the dad she's never known. Soon Glenn will be able to give her the answers she so wants. So the answer to a lot of your questions is, you see that little gate there? If you walk through there, the man behind there is your dad. All your questions will be answered.
Oh, wow.
So go and say hello to him.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
I can see myself. Oh my God. As soon as I saw him, I knew that he was my dad, yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
My girl. Oh, it's one of the best hugs I've ever had in my life. Something that I've missed for so long. You all right?
Yeah. It's been a long day. Oh, wow. That I could see myself in him, like some of the features similar.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, very different.
25 years.
Yeah.
God, she looks like my family. She does. She looks a hell of a lot like my family. Incredible.
So I am Māori.
Oh, yes, you are. We've got a lot of history to go through.
That's good. Yay. Yay.
We're actually descendants from the Moriori.
Oh, wow.
But the history we'll go through, we'll do it together.
Yeah.
From one end of the country to the other.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
More than you know, I believe.
That's good, yeah.
Would you like to meet the rest of my family?
Yes.
This is Paula. And here's John.
Hi.
Come on.
Cute.
Come on, little
so
boy.
handsome.
Look
Look at you.
Come on.
He's
Have a
shy.
look. You want to see your sister?
Glenn has promised, subject to Paula's health, to come and visit Amber.
It's going to be an incredible journey, just to show her what she's missed.
After spending time with her father, Amber finally has closure and the knowledge that one day soon she'll be able to meet her new whānau in New Zealand.
That's a lot to take in. It's hard to describe. Just overwhelmed and happy.
The last time I saw my dad, I was 4 years old. I have no idea if he ever tried to find me, but I never stopped thinking about him.
Have you ever felt your heart ache?
I've always felt empty. I'd love to share with him all the things he missed out in my life, and would really like to know about the things he's done in his life. Could you please help me find my father? Hi. Hi, Dad.
Hello, buddy. 25-year-old Nikki Stewart and her partner, Michael Wormsley, work as share milkers in the Waikato, just outside of Aotearoa. They are engaged to be married and have 2 children, 3-year-old Leighton and Bailey, who is 7 months. So, 20 years without knowing your dad?
Yeah.
That must have been hard.
Yeah, it was hard. Eventually I got used to it, but now that it has been 20 years, I never stopped thinking about him.
Nikki was 4 years old when she last saw her dad.
Well, we were living in Hamilton. My mum and my dad split up. Mum eventually got a new partner and we ended up moving down to Christchurch.
Nikki's vivid memory of her father is of a tall man who gave her 50-cent pieces to go to the shop to buy lollies. Did you ever get told why your dad disappeared?
No. No.
Your mum hasn't told you?
No, it's an unspoken subject. But then I never really asked either. Because I have children of my own, and I couldn't imagine them not knowing their father. Also, in the back of my mind, there is too knowing he might turn around and not want anything to do with me.
Nikki's mother doesn't want to be part of the search. Her partner, Michael, fully supports her need to find her long-lost father.
I'd mean everything for it. Yeah, she's missed out on a lot not having a dad, so yeah, that would mean a lot.
I still wonder now, like, what to expect. Like, if I ever did get to see him again, I have no idea what my expectations are.
Nikki's parents weren't married when she was born, but her father's full name is on her birth certificate. Finding this N. Wayne Stewart is not easy, but on his mother's side of the family, I find there is an unusual last name, and this helps me find a cousin, Patrice. Patrice says she'll try and get a phone number for Wayne and will call back if she does. Ironically, it turns out Wayne Stewart still lives in Hamilton, the city where Nikki was born, just 60 kilometres from Otorohanga, where Nikki and her family now live. Wayne's cousin Patrice has come back with a current phone number for Wayne.
Hello?
Oh, hello, is that Wayne?
Yes?
Oh, Wayne, look, my name is David Lomas, and I'm ringing on behalf of your daughter, Nikki.
Oh dear,
25-year-old mum, Nikki Stewart, last saw her father, Wayne, when she was 4. My searches led me to Hamilton, where I make a call to Wayne. Oh, hello, is that Wayne?
Yes?
Oh, Wayne, look, my name is David Lomas, and I'm ringing on behalf of your daughter, Nikki.
Oh dear,
She's wondering why you just disappeared from her life.
Oh, God. What happened was I ended up in jail.
I see. Well, look, that's in the past, presumably. She would like to meet you now.
Yeah.
She's done a video message, which she would like me to show to you. Would you be happy to meet and have a look at that?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
It seems there's a good reason why Nikki never got to see Wayne when she was growing up. But why didn't he get in touch with her? Since you're coming this way, you must be Wayne. I'm David. Nice to meet you. So, as you know, your girl's looking for you?
Yep.
Long time since you've seen her, I suppose?
Yep.
What happened?
Our relationship with my daughter's mother, it ended. I ended up inside for a little bit.
Did you do anything too bad?
No, I only sold drugs. You know, but, you know, that's in the past.
Yeah.
So when I got out, 1999, I tried to get in touch with Nikki.
Yeah.
And the mother said no way. So I didn't want to rock the boat.
And Nikki, do you remember much about her?
Yeah, well, she was only a little tacker when she went.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the day that they moved from Hamilton to go to Christchurch, and I couldn't even bring myself to go to the airport to see them off. So, you know, I was very sad. I've got cancer, right? And every day to me, because I don't know whether I'm going to wake up tomorrow or not, you know, so I'm just going to work it all out, and I just hope that I can fight and win this battle.
Well, would you like to see your little girl?
Yes, I would.
Push this little button here.
Dad, if you're watching this, it means that I've found you. I have never stopped thinking about you. It's been 20 years. I remember a lot of memories as a child at your house, playing in the backyard, you giving me money to buy lollies and sweets. I would really love to see you again, and if you could find it in your heart to see me, I would absolutely love that.
Got it. Yep. Sorry. I pride myself as being a heart. I'm lost for words. I don't think there's any words that can really describe how I feel.
So I can go and see Nikki and
Yes, you
tell
can.
her you'd like to see her?
Oh, totally. Yep. Certainly can.
What do you think of her?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Wayne Stewart has 5 children by 3 different mothers and now lives alone. He has worked as a mortician, but his cancer is terminal, and so he's currently not working. I need to break the news to Nikki back in Otorohanga. If we can find your dad, what will you say to him?
I don't know, like if he wants to give me a big hug, I'll give him a big hug. Like, I'm all positive. I'm excited about it.
Well, I met your dad the other day.
Did you? Really? Are you serious? Really, really serious?
I showed him the video you did,
What did he say?
and he cried when he watched it.
Did he?
Are you for real?
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
So, would you like to meet him?
Yes.
So where is he?
He's in Hamilton.
Hamilton
Yes.
still?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I never, ever thought this day would come.
When Wayne last saw his daughter, she was just 4 years old, and he thought he'd lost her forever. So 20 years, it's a long time with no dad.
It is.
How are you feeling about it all?
Nervous, but really excited. Really, really excited. Just, yeah, I'll probably be speechless.
All right. Well, if you look just over your shoulder, you see the grandstand over there.
Yeah.
Michael and the kids are sitting in the grandstand.
Yes.
And that's man out there, that's your dad.
Really?
Good luck.
Thank you. When I started walking towards my dad, I was extremely nervous and really excited. When I first saw him, he just looked like a really nice man. Just like, wow, this is my dad. Hello. How are you?
Hello. I haven't got any lollies or money, but got plenty of love lollies for you.
Oh, good.
And they're all free. So you have as much as you like, eh?
Thank you.
Oh.
It was just amazing. So he opened up his arms and I just, yeah, walked into his arms and hugged him.
Your families are just growing bigger today.
I know, yes.
Well, when I saw her coming, I couldn't wait to give her a hug. It was wonderful, it really was. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful to see you, Nick.
You too.
I'll never forget you, eh?
I'll never ever stop thinking about you.
Yeah, absolutely lovely.
Thank you.
How are you?
Pleased to meet you.
Michael.
Michael at Bailey in Leighton.
Hello. Hello.
Come here, Leighton. Cool.
Aren't you?
Come here.
Just like your mother.
Yeah, totally.
It was just amazing. Finally, after all these years of thinking about him, here he is right in front of me.
You would have thought, eh?
Yeah.
I know.
I couldn't believe it when I got that phone call.
Really? Yeah.
Wayne has subsequently told Nikki about his past and his current health issues. After spending time together, Nikki's contact with Wayne has gradually diminished. But she says she's happy she met the father she'd always wondered about. Next week on Lost and Found.
It's a big empty place in my heart, and it has been my whole life.
Raised by grandparents, she's never known her dad.
Frightened that she may not want to meet us.
Is it too late to bring his daughter back to the family?
I'm the boss, really.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.